Welcome to the latest video in the Skillful Living series. My name is Pamposh. I'm founder of the Therathai Center in Singapore. Today I want to talk to you about the concept of Guna, which is explained at some length in the Bhagavad Gita. This is a word that's a little hard to translate into English. It's I think the best translation would be a quality, but a fundamental quality. So it's a quality that human beings have. In fact, there are three gunas, so three qualities. But it's more fundamental than the quality, let's say, of patience or anger. It's something different. You'll understand better as I continue with the video if you're not already familiar with the idea. So, there are three gunas that apply to all human beings. Nearly all of us have a mix of all three or at least two of these gunas. And the sort of proportions of each of these gunas in each of us will determine our stage of development and the kind of person that we are. So, the three gunas are Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And each of these gunas also moves our energies in a certain way. So, the guna of Sattva moves our energies upwards towards spiritual awareness and spiritual development. The energy of Rajas expands our energy out into the world and brings worldly success, let me put it that way. And the energy of Tamas tends to drag us down. So, the qualities associated with these gunas are with Sattva, the qualities of truth, of equanimity, of righteousness, doing the right thing. People who are sattvic, that is, who have a large proportion of Sattva in their makeup, tend to be calm, tend to be peaceful and peace-loving. They are also compassionate, so they do want to reach out to others as well. The qualities associated with Rajas are action, but sometimes almost like frenetic action. Rajasic people, those with a large proportion of Rajas in their makeup, tend to be very active people. A lot of our type A personalities would be Rajasic. Rajasic people want power, money, acquisitions. So their energy is flowing outwards, not necessarily upwards to spiritual awareness and development. But of course, you can have Sattva and Rajas in your nature as well. Again, the proportion of each will determine whether you're overall a Sattvic person or a Rajasic person. And finally, Tamas. Tamas brings the energy of indolence, laziness and ignorance. So people who are predominantly tamasic will tend to be quite lazy and kind of happy in their ignorance. So they don't even try to expand their understanding of life or of themselves. Again, this is it may not be so extreme. So even if you are a tamasic person, you may make some effort to increase your knowledge, but that will be your overall nature. Most of us are a mix of, as I said, a mix of two or three of these gunas. So let's say if somebody is, let's say 80% has 80% Sattva in their makeup and maybe 15% Rajas and 5% Tamas, then that would be a Sattvic person overall. Of course, you can't really calculate in percentage terms so exactly, but I'm just giving an example. So if somebody has more Rajas, then they would be Rajasic and so on. You can, of course, as you grow in life, your mix of gunas will also change. So if you find that you are somewhat lazy, maybe in certain areas of life, not overall, then you can bring more movement into your body, more activity into your life to convert that tamas into rajas, so that you become less lazy, less ignorant, more knowledgeable. You can also seek more knowledge again to convert tamas to rajas. And to convert rajas to sattva, you can make use of meditation, which is a very good way to understand yourself and in some way understand life as well. You can also focus on what is called seva, which is helping others, but helping without desire for a reward for yourself. So, selfless service. And seva also has a connotation of humility. So, helping without selfish desire and helping with some amount of humility. So, just to sum this up again, we can convert the energy of tamas, of laziness and ignorance, to rajas, moving a step higher in terms of spiritual development. We can convert it through activity and seeking knowledge. We can convert rajas to sattva through meditation and seva. Sattva is, in spiritual terms, in terms of spiritual development, sattva is the best quality, the best energy that one can have. However, the Gita does say if you want to be completely free, liberated, then you have to even get beyond the three gunas. So, even a sattvic person can still be attached to the idea of sattva, to the idea of his or her own calmness or his or her own level of development. Sattvic people, for example, can get impatient with others who may not be at the same level of development. So, these are still attachments in a way to some form of ego. So, if you really want to find liberation or salvation, you really have to give up the attachment even to the best of the gunas, and you have to in a way get beyond the gunas. But I think I want to keep my discussion focused on what we can do to at least get to that stage of sattva, where we have so much sattva in our makeup that we can be seen as sattvic people. I think maybe I'll stop here for this week and take this discussion forward again in the next video. Thank you for watching. Namaste. See you next week for more on the gunas.